Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the Snead Competition Design Truck Series here at Dover International Speedway for the Dover 150. I'm Austin Knight. I am joined by Joshua Lee, and we're here live on Racecraft TV. Josh, how you feeling?
Feeling good tonight here at the Dover International Raceway. One of the best tracks on the NASCAR circuit, in my opinion. Huge banking. These trucks just dive into the corners, suck right down to the pavement, and coming off of turns 2 and 4, that wall creeps up very quickly. So it is going to be an interesting race about tire wear, about keeping that truck out of the wall, and about keeping your truck off of other trucks on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's going to be about tire wear, keeping it clean and going fast as usual, but keeping it out of the wall and staying caution-free. And here at Dover, the Monster Mile, it has a car, it has the monster holding a car in front of every race because this track loves to eat cars up, as Dustin Scruggs currently in qualifying right now. He's coming across the line and to jump up into 4th place. As everyone is just sitting in qualifying. Michael McKinnon's currently sitting on provisional pole.
Good lap for Michael McKinnon, too. 22.283. About 7/100ths of a second over second place. Then we can go back 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Around 11/100ths of a second back from 1st place as Mark Truxell jumps up to P2. 3/100ths of a second off of that top time. 22.314.
That was his first lap, too. Mark Truxell looking very fast right now. Coming around turns 3 and 4. Gets all the way up to the wall. The number 5 comes across the line. And goes into pole.
22.272. What a lap from that 5 machine.
What a lap indeed. And Chris Cinnamon, he's jumped into 4th place after his first lap, heading into his 2nd lap right now, coming through 3 and 4. He watches this exit, playing with the throttle, almost kisses the wall. Chris Cinnamon comes across the line, but does not improve.
I think he might have tapped that wall, maybe somewhere else on the racetrack or coming off of turn 4. You get any kind of 0x at all in iRacing, and that disvaluates your lap time. It immediately deletes it, so not good for Chris Cinnamon. But still a good qualifying time. He was in 4th.
Speaking of not good, Andrew Hurley just smacked the wall hard again, coming into 3 and 4. He's almost sideways down the front straight, but on his outlap, he had damage on his front of the car as well, and he's doing qualifying with a broken car.
Hey, whatever it takes to get that lap in, I respect it. He needs to get a good qualifying run.
He needs to get a clean run, that is, and he's lifted off so hard in turn 4 to avoid that wall and get a time. He's sitting 24th right now. He's got Raul Meza in that 37. He comes across the line to set his first time. He jumps into 26.
See if we can improve a 23.487, more than 1 second off of that pole time. Hugging that bottom line right on the apron, coming off of turn 4. Keep it out of the wall. Across the line. And he will improve 23.048. Still a little bit off the pace, but better than his first lap. Some improvement for that 37.
Improvement indeed. Justin Lumpkin. You're looking at him right there on his outlap. I believe he's hit the wall and just completely came into the pit lane, and he's not even going to set a time.
Mike Harnish and Brandon Bullock have also not set times. 26 cars have set times. We have 29 currently registered.
Yeah, qualifying is about to end pretty soon, but yeah, we were looking for Brandon Bullish and Mike Harnish to get on track, but I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen Mike Harnish. He was in our ARCA race last night. He registered, but he didn't take a lap at all that night.
Time winding down in qualifying, 10 minutes allocated, and both Harnish, Bullock, and Lumpkin all are not on the racetrack. Lumpkin sitting in pit road, Harnish and Bullock sitting in the garage. So we have 2.5 minutes technically remaining in qualifying for these drivers to go make a lap. But the pace seems to be around the 22.3 second range. That seems to be where the fast guys are currently running in the top 10. Most of them in the 22.3 range. Race pace, you can expect maybe 22.5s, 22.6s until those tires start to fall off. And we know those tires fall off very quickly here at Dover. Old race surface, very abrasive for tires.
Yeah, the concrete jungle of Dover. It's not New York. It literally just chews up tires, it chews up cars, and you aren't careful, it might chew you up, and maybe the entire pack behind you. And this track is just going to give us a big show today.
And another characteristic of this racetrack is that even the straightaways do have more banking on them than usual. So when cars wreck on the straightaway, they're going straight down the racetrack as opposed to kind of staying in one place. So if you're on that inside line, you got to be very careful for those cars hitting the wall on the outside line because they could very quickly end up right in your lane. And that is how a majority of the big ones happen here at Dover, is that multiple cars just can't get out of the way of the wreck happening in front of them. And yes, I did say big ones. Dover is much like Daytona and Talladega. There is some huge wrecks that happen here at this track, and most of the time, it's not a matter of if these wrecks happen. It is a matter of when they happen in this 150-lap race.
And when, indeed, is a big ask, especially here, because the tires go down quickly, and contact with the wall is oh so common coming out of these turns.
And that wall just seems to stick out, much like Darlington. It's a kind of a rite of passage to hit the wall at least once during your race. And once those tires wear, it gets much easier to hit that wall as the trucks push up and up and up the racetrack. So with everybody trying to keep it out of the wall, I'm expecting we're going to see a couple taps coming off of turns 2 and 4. You just got to try not to stuff it into the wall.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to stuff it at all. And tonight, Dover 150 laps, 40 stage 1, 40 for stage 2, and 70 for stage 3.
And with those lap times being under 30 seconds, these are going to be some quick stages that are going to get underway and ending very quickly. So it's going to be interesting to see how the strategy works out, because you're not going to have a lot of time. 40 laps seems like a long time, but we're at the Monster Mile, the Dover International Raceway. These laps go by very quickly.
And it's Mark Truxell starting up on pole, followed by Michael McKinnon, Derek Mullins, Chris Cinnamon, Stephen Thomas, Nathan Rauge, Tyler Daniels, Dustin Scruggs, Casey Herring, Taylor Peacock, Chris Baines, Justin Munda in 12th place. They're followed by Eric Zimmerman, Jesse Sarge, Robert Richards, Jason Hagebon, Dane Hagen, Mikey Williams, Steve Williams, Keith Bradley, Tim D. Price, Scott Osment, Chip Turner, and Raul Meza in 24th. Followed by Andrew Hurley, Ty Dittmer, Justin Lumpkin, Brandon Bullock, and Mark Harnish in 29th place. And as I say all of this, my iRacing has crashed.
Well, Racecraft TV fans, unfortunately, it looks like Austin Knight having a little bit of an issue with his iRacing. We didn't know he's not only our lead commentator, but also produces the show. And all of you can watch at home on youtube.com/RacecraftTV. But we are going to improvise, adapt, and overcome. We are going to go from a traditional TV broadcast style for the start of this race to traditional radio style as you would hear on the Motor Racing Network or the Performance Racing Network, whether you are in your car, at home, or at the racetrack over the PA system. So as the cars get onto the grid, just waiting on a couple more in the back to make their way. And I believe everybody is now gridded up, and the pace truck is going to roll off of pit road. They will take one lap around the Dover International Raceway, and then we'll be green flag racing as the field goes 2 by 2, coming off of the pit lane onto the large banking here at the Dover International Raceway. Truxell starts on the pole with Michael McKinnon to his outside. Then Derek Mullins and Chris Cinnamon make up row 2. Stephen Thomas and Nathan Rogue in row 3. With Tyler Daniels, Dustin Scruggs in row 4. Rounding out your top 10 is Casey Herring and Taylor Peacock. As they come off of turn 2. High Banks corners lead on to High Banks straightaways there at the Dover International Raceway. Some drivers describe it as like riding a roller coaster for a numerous amount of laps around this racetrack. So with all these truck drivers, going to need to keep them out of the wall, going to need to keep them out of each other, and try and go as fast as possible. The 5 and the 13 will lead them to green. 2 Chevy Silverados on the front row as the iRacing official pace truck going to pull down into pit lane. The field making their way past the pit road entry off of turn number 4 here at Dover. Flagman waving the green flag. We are underway. Let's go racing in Dover for the NASRA Truck Series. The 5 gets a good start, not quite clear of the 13 just yet. They're going to dive their way into turn number 1. Now one by one as they head through side by side a little bit further back for 5th place is the 11 and the 13. As they come onto the back straightaways. Still some 2 wide further back in the midfield, but the 5 with a good jump, about a 6 car length gap already between the 5 and the 13. As they come onto lap number 2, Derek Mullins sits in 3rd with Chris Cinnamon in 4th. As they make their way back into turn number 1 once again, the field already spreading out as the 5 of Mark Truxell gets a great gap. 6/10 is the gap now between him and Michael McKinnon behind, with Derek Mullins and Chris Cinnamon 3rd and 4th as they make their way back onto the front straightaway into turn 4. A little bit of a battle back here for 4th between Cinnamon and Rogge, as now Rogge has Stephen Thomas to his inside, and Thomas is going to take P5. Now looking for P5 is the 81 of Taylor Peacock. He's going to go to the inside of the 91, going to grab 6th place. Seems like the 91 of Nathan Rogge on the outside, getting just run right down the sucker hole right now, not able to do anything on that outside line. He's going to try and sneak into line behind the 81 in front of the 11, and he does so. Now single file majority of the way through this field. No cautions yet as they're going to come back off of turn number 4, make their way onto lap number 5. Back onto the back straightaway with Mark Truxell, still an 8/10. Now make that 9/10 of a gap between him and Michael McKinnon for 1 and 2. Small battle back for 3rd. As we have the 2 and the 3 going at it between Derek Mullins and Chris Cinnamon. Small 4-car pack here, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. About 1 car length between each of these drivers right now. You can throw a blanket over them right now, all very close together, but the Discount Tire Ford F-150 leading this pack. The 3-car of Chris Cinnamon, good wrench Chevy Silverado, looked to the outside, did not make the move. As Stephen Thomas in the 23 sits 3rd in this pack, about a car length back from the 3, with Taylor Peacock watching it all happen, with the 91 and Nathan Rogge and Dustin Scruggs in the 11, rounding out the top 8. They're a little bit further back from this gap right now, with Truxell, McKinnon, and Mullins still your top 3, but Mullins almost getting passed by Chris Cinnamon, now right on the gearbox. You can still throw a blanket over Mullins, Cinnamon, and Thomas as they go battling back into turn 3. Nobody making any daring moves yet as we go on to lap 9. With Mullins and Cinnamon still looks like he has the fastest truck out of this group. Just cannot get past the 2 of Derek Mullins just yet as he sits behind coming off of turn 2. Stephen Thomas looked to have gotten a great run coming off of the corner. Let's see if he can do anything about it as they go back into 3. Couldn't do anything. Now 7 cars in this one group. At the tail end of the group, it is the 54 of Chris Baines, who has joined the party after making his way up through the field in his 54 Toyota Tundra. And the top 3 have checked out. Truxell and McKinnon both have checked out from this group. 3rd place, Derek Mullins trying to check out, but he has so many cars behind him right now that he cannot escape. But no passing happening so far on the racetrack. The biggest mover is Tyler Dittmer. He has gained 8 spots since the start of this race. He is currently in 18th. Only one truck is currently off of the racetrack, and that is Mike Harnish, who did not start this race. Everybody else still on the racetrack, with Tim Price in last place in the 28. Andrew Hurley sitting in the back in the 47 as well. He sits in 26. Steve Williams with some damage to that 32 machine on the spoiler. Probably got contact a little bit earlier on in the race. No caution, though, for that contact. And right as I say that, there is a caution. Not sure where the wreck was, and it looks like the 14 of Jonathan Munda is involved. It was in turn number 3. Oh, and it looks like the 52 got into contact. I'm not sure with who. And correction, it looks to be the 94 getting contact with the 92. And it looks like the 92 on the back straightaway came up about a lane. The 94 is about a half lane off of the wall, with the 92 coming up ever so slightly. It looks like a little bit of netcode also happening in that wreck as well, as the 94 goes spinning down to the inside, smacks the wall, the inside wall in turn 3, shoots right up the track, right into the road of Jonathan Munda in the 14, and Munda goes slamming into the outside wall, and around goes that Ford F-150 in the 14. So that brings out the first caution of the day. Mark Truxell still leads the way. Michael McKinnon in second. Chris Cinnamon third. Derek Mullins in fourth. Stephen Thomas in fifth, with Taylor Peacock, Nathan Rogge, Chris Baines, Dustin Scruggs, and Casey Herring rounding out your top 10. And I believe, Austin, you are back in the session with us finally.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm so sorry that actually happened at that time. But iRacing on this computer just sometimes happens. But don't worry, everyone. There is a new broadcasting computer arriving next week. We should have it ready to go for the truck series. But I don't know why, but for some reason, iRacing has a very, very common crash with me coming out of qualifying. I'm not sure why, and the new UI, it's very difficult, because whenever there's a new session, it instead of joining that session, just likes to immediately hide that session, so I had to hop onto the old iRacing site and get that down. But hey, we are here right now for the Snead Competition Design Series. A few laps down, but hey, you aren't missing much.
Truxell did get a good start there early on in the race, with McKinnon getting a little bit of a bad start on the outside line. Truxell was able to get clear of him going into turn number 1, and Truxell checked out from McKinnon. The gap was around 1 second when they finally threw the caution on that last wreck. And Chris Cinnamon was able to get past Derek Mullins for that third spot. So now Cinnamon is in third, with Mullins in fourth. Mullins stayed in third for a good amount of time from that start to the caution. But Chris Cinnamon, right at the last second, getting by him. He now sits in third, as the field currently paces behind the official iRacing pace truck under the first caution of the day. Lap 15 of 40 here in stage 1, 150 laps total here in today's race.
Yep, 150 laps these guys gonna run. They've so far ran about 14. And they're still warming up those tires, keep them in check behind that iRacing pace truck as those lights are about to go out.
Definitely have my eye on Mark Truxell, but somebody also I have my eye on right now is Chris Cinnamon. I mentioned him a little bit earlier on. Seemed like he had a very fast truck, just couldn't get around the two of Derek Mullins. He was finally able to get around him and make his way into third. So now that I think he's in third, he is going to have a battle with Michael McKinnon throughout this next run. But I think once he can get past McKinnon, he can make a run at Truxell for the win. Question is, he just needs to get by that second place car and have a chance at getting that lead away from Mark Truxell. But Truxell is just so fast in that 5 car. It seems like he always is when we come into the NASRA Truck Series.
Yeah, Mark Truxell is a different breed of fast, especially in a truck. And that number 5, we've seen him up at front nearly every week. But all these guys, as they go down the banked back stretch, that pace truck is pulling off right now, and all the field is in control of that number 5, Mark Truxell, facing out the field, and I'm going to let Joshua take this.
Truxell and McKinnon leading the field back to green flag as they come off of turn number 4. OfficialIRacing.com base truck back into pit lane. The field just waiting behind Truxell. There goes Truxell coming off of turn 4, back to racing. An easy start for the 5. He's going to clear the 13 on the outside. Top 4 single file as they head into 1. Side by side for 5th, but look at the run from the 81 on the outside. Taylor Peacock goes from side by side for 5th to side by side for 4th in just 1 corner. What a run for the 81. Now Chris Cinnamon gets hopped up to the outside. Mullins to the inside. 4P3 battles back a little bit further back in
very
this
low.
pack. Oh my, that's the 23. He's going to come right at the track. 3 wide and 1.
Almost collects Nathan Rauge in that collision, but 23 very, very loose coming out of the corners. And oh my goodness, he almost causes an incident right there. Stephen Thomas getting into the side of the 17 of Robert Richards.
Going back up to the front, the 2 of Derek Mullins. Able to get by Chris Cinnamon for 3rd as the battles get a little bit more calm back in the midfield. Oh my, as right as I say that, Stephen Thomas looked to the inside on the 17 of Robert Richards, was not able to get there, wondering if that 23 might have a little bit of damage. Doesn't look like it as he comes by the front straight away. But Richards now in 7th.
McKinnon.
And that field a little bit more disconnected as there goes McKinnon now getting a shot from Derek Mullins, and Mullins to 2nd.
Yeah, Mullins and McKinnon went side by side through the exit of turn 2. McKinnon's falling back just a little bit, and it's a massive pack behind him.
Yeah, look at that. 4 cars just so close together here at Dover as Taylor Peacock sits in that 3rd spot. We saw that restart. What a run that 81 had on the outside. Can he use the outside to get by Chris Cinnamon? Doesn't look like he's comfortable with doing it yet. He has Dustin Scruggs all on his rear bumper right now.
And Taylor Peacock, Mr. Moneyman himself, looks down to the inside. Cinnamon and McKinnon, they're going to pull out the track just a little bit. They're going to be blowing up their tires right there. But they're all going to be staying in line with each other as they race down into turn 3. Peacock looking down low once more.
Peacock trying to find any hole he can possibly find here at Dover International Speedway. Not able to find anything right now, though, in turns 1 and 3. There he goes. He looks up to the outside. Scruggs behind him, but it looks like he did not go up there fast enough. Did not get a run. Cinnamon loose coming off a 3.
Chris Cinnamon, big wiggle right there. And Stephen Thomas, the 23, went high. And then number 9 of Casey Herring sticks his nose in there. And now they're all going to go 2 wide. McKinnon.
He got the spot.
McKinnon and Cinnamon are going side by side. Peacock goes wide.
Oh, he went for the move, unable to make it happen. There goes the 17 of Robert Richards right on by. So is the 9 of Casey Herring.
The 56 of Jason Higginbotham also as well. And the 23 of Stephen Thomas. It's a train, and it has left the station for Taylor Peacock.
He took a gamble on the outside, but with worn tires and not on a restart, that did not work out for the 81. Falling like a rock as Richards goes to the inside.
Higginbotham and Richards, both of them looking down to the inside, heading into 3 and 4, as well as Stephen Thomas. The 9's into the wall.
The 9 car, Casey Herring, taps the wall. Looks like he's all good. Now going to make a pass on Dustin Scruggs coming off a 2.
Scruggs staying high, and it's just chaos back here in the bottom top 10 of these guys. Scruggs still staying high. He's drifting higher and higher, and bam! Scruggs into the wall and into Thomas.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
A huge hit for Dustin Scruggs. Taylor Peacock involved.
Peacock's blown an engine. And
oh my,
Scruggs,
what happened there?
Scruggs and Ozmat have collected each other, but it all started with Dustin Scruggs heading into the wall, smacking it into Thomas, smacking it into Peacock, who smacks into Nathan Rauge. And all of these guys sitting down here on the front straight. more chaos, but Taylor Peacock, he blew an engine. We're going to be watching this again from the blimp view. It's just a massive hit into the wall. And that's Dover for you. No place to go. It looks like the one of the cars tried to dodge it down low. Then the 53 is Scott Osmack. Little retaliation hit against Dustin Scruggs. I'm not sure why he's done that, but we're going to be watching this in slow motion on board with Taylor Peacock as he just gets walloped right in front of him and passes down hard into the wall, spins around, and that has blown his engine straight up as everyone's trying to get past him.
It definitely looks to me like Scruggs got maybe tight or loose going in on the outside, because he was on the outside of the 9, rolled the outside line, but you can see him go right up the track coming off of 4, and just nowhere he could go, slams the wall right down into the 23. Like you said, the 81 of Taylor Peacock right in his line, nowhere to go. The 54 skirts on by. The 91 misjudging where that 11 will be and taps him once more.
And we have
And
a
I
few
think
cars.
That was all of the contact that they had from the 11 of Dustin Scruggs. His cars come down pit road.
Yeah, a few cars staying out right there as Mark Truxell, Chris Cinnamon, Robert Richards, and Jason Higbaugh went into the pits. Derek Mullins is our new leader, the number 2, with Tyler Dittmer right behind him. But Derek Mullins taking a gamble compared to everybody else.
That could be a good strategy call we're going to be going green with less than 10 laps to go in the stage. So that could be a strategy call that he can get to the end of the stage on these tires, get some much needed stage points for him, and maybe even have a chance at winning the stage if he can keep those drivers with fresh tires behind him.
And Dade Hagan, Jesse Stredge, and Mikey Williams coming down the pits again. I'm guessing they just don't want to be caught up in that panic ahead of him. So they're just going to let the field by, get some fresh tires, and stay alive, hopefully, because I feel like this is not the last caution we're going to see today.
Oh, it definitely won't be, especially here at Dover. Like we said, it's like Daytona and Talladega, just a lot of carnage very quickly, and it all amounts to what I think we're going to see in Stage 3, where a lot of drivers become impatient, and we're going to see a lot of moves made.
And if you're wondering why I just said, ooh, look at the front of Tyler Dittmer and Tim D. Price's cars. Very beat up noses of them.
That could affect the radiator, could affect anything on that engine, but I don't think aerodynamics are much of a factor, especially here at Dover on a short track.
Dover is a short track that kind of acts like a speedway sometimes, but with those grills being bent up, it's definitely going to be affecting their performance just a little bit, and we're going to have to see how that affects him coming up to speed, but Tyler Dittmer might have some blockers for him going to this ending stage. But you can see that number 5 sitting in 4th place. Mark Truxell is definitely on the hunt, on fresh tires too, and he's looking like he wants to have an amazing start around the outside and pull a Taylor Peacock right there, swinging around the outside as a truck just exits the closed pit lane, and he's going to get a penalty for that. Not sure who that is.
They will be getting an EOL penalty, so they will go all the way
at
to
the end of the
back.
line. I think it's a stop-go for exiting close pit.
Well, field coming off of turn 2, 2x2 with Mullins, Dittmer, Price, Truxell, and Cinnamon now your top 5. Mark Truxell, first car with fresh tires. Actually, I think it might be Tim Price first car with first truck with fresh tires.
It is Tim Price. He was in the pit lane earlier, but he has that damage.
Laps ago.
Yeah, he has that damage.
17 laps ago.
Mm-hmm. So, freshest tires on the field. Mark Truxell. His pace truck pulls off all. The pace is controlled by Derek Mullins, and that number 2 slowly coming around turn 4. There goes Mullins, and here we go. It's a bit of wheel spin for Mullins, and here comes Truxell on the outside of the 28 of Tim D. Price. And Truxell looking on that outside line already immediately on Tyler Dittmer, but he goes way wide.
Still 2 by 2, battling further back. The top 3 still single file as Truxell goes to make a move on Tyler Dittmer. Not going to get by him, but that grip coming off of turn 4 is going to work wonders for Truxell as he goes for second.
And he gets second easily as Dittmer goes way up the track, and on behind him he goes Robert Richards up into third.
Richards takes over third. Truxell now in second as his eyes set on that 2. And he is gaining so much speed, so much momentum as they come on to lap 34. Chris Baines now makes his way up into fourth. What a run for that 54 as Dittmer continues to run down. He now gets passed by Cinnamon, getting passed by 2 cars, 3 cars at once.
Here comes Truxell and Mullins. Truxell onto the inside of Mullins. Truxell gets his car length, and he takes the lead. Robert Richards joins Truxell as well, and it's a 3-way fight for the lead, and hard into the wall goes Derek Mullins.
Mullins slams the wall. He's able to keep it out from wrecking anybody else, but Mullins now falling back into rock on the outside, down into 5th.
And up at front, Robert Richards, Chris Baines, and Mark Truxell battling it up for the lead here at Dover with just 5 laps to go here in stage 1.
All fighting for that stage win as Truxell leads. Robert Richards and Chris Baines all pitted at the same time. They all are on the same tires. We could expect them to pit at the stage break, or we can expect them to use those tires up going through the second stage of 40 laps as well.
Chris Cinnamon slapped the wall hard right there.
Seems like a lot of drivers overly pushing coming off of these corners with those fresh tires, trying to get all they can out of those Goodyear tires that they just strapped on in the pit lane. And they're going for a stage win. 3 to go in the stage. It is now important. If Robert Richards wants that stage win, he's going to need to make a move, and he's going to need to make it very fast.
He's closing in on Truxell. It's just all about linking those corners together. Now that's Nathan Rauge slow in front of him. And this might be a little bit of a pick, and this is not the spot where Rauge wants to be. Truxell dives out to the inside, and Rauge picks it hard into Robert Richards. Richards got nose damage.
Oh, and that is not what Nathan Rauge wanted. That is especially not what Robert Richards wanted. If he has damage to that front end, that is going to spell some defeat, especially for now, before we can get into pit lane for that fast repair. One more lap car in front of these drivers as they go into the white flag of the stage.
Green and white flag is out. Mark Truxell leads out a damaged Robert Richards. Chris Baines hangs on in third, followed by Chris Cinnamon in fourth. Jason Higginbotham in 5th place, but all eyes on Mark Truxell. So he comes around turns 3 and 4, and he's going to take our stage 1 as hard into the wall goes Robert Richards, trying for everything. But it is Mark Truxell taking stage 1.
I'm not entirely sure if Robert Richards kept that second place. He did. He goes around Chris Baines. But what a story that would have been if Chris Baines was able to get past Robert Richards before that yellow flag came out, gaining a spot before that stage ended.
Robert Richards racing like stage 1 ending was meant for him, and it was the last lap because he smacked the wall hard right there. And there's the finish between Richards and the 54, but we're going to stop, rewind, and watch this exit coming out of 4 for Richards because he used all the track, all through all the bam! But he did get it ahead of the 54. But all eyes are on our stage 1 winner of Mark Truxell as stage 1 comes to an end here at Dover. You're here watching the Snead Competition Design Truck Series Dover 150 here on Racecraft TV. We'll be right back after these messages.
Can you see it? It's right there. Hidden behind an assortment of vibrant colors and corporate branding schemes. Look closer. Past the nearly 200 tons of handmade American steel, and beyond the highest quality, custom-designed electrical components and systems in the industry. Deeper still, to the very core. That's where you'll find it. The heart of NRE. Heart is what makes us who we are. Heart is why NRE products and services are made with more. More precision, more grit, and more passion. We're the largest independent supplier of locomotives, parts, and components on the planet. Vertically integrated and strategically positioned for multiple domestic and international facilities. Our capacity and efficiency are simply unmatched. Fast and worth ethic, and sealed with a calloused handshake. We design real solutions for real-world challenges. Whether we're leading the charge on clean emission solutions or integrating the latest performance-enhancing technology into virtually any locomotive platform, we quote to delivery and ship from stock to offer the most flexible and comprehensive work scope throughout our global reach. Our customers call it a return on investment. We call it the return of North American pride. Do you see it now? It's there. A raging fire that burns inside each and every designer, welder, engineer, and NRE team member. Heart is our anthem. Passion is our fuel. They drive us towards success, push us beyond boundaries, and they guide us to you. Heart is what moves us forward.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV here at Dover for the Dover 150 for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series. We're on board for Stage 1 winner Mark Truxell, who's going to be leading out the field behind the pace truck. And Chris Baines is now on the outside racing with him as the 17 went into the pits to fix up that damage he was going with at the end of Stage 1.
35 laps set to go here in stage 2. Planned 40 lap distance, but we'll be going green on lap 46, which will be 35 to go here in this stage. Quick run before we head into stage 3 as the pace truck heads down to pit road.
Pace truck up, off, all in the hands of Mark Truxell, and you hear the revs riving, and oh my goodness, he gets a great launch as Chris Baines was caught sleeping behind him, and Higginbotham down to the inside. They're going side by side.
Baines stuck on the outside as Higginbotham in the 56 looks to be inside, coming off of turn 2. The 56 with a go to run down the back straightaway, dives it back into the corner, but Baines doing a great job holding it on the outside line. Getting that Toyota take over second place once again.
Looks like the number 9 of Casey Herring's trying to push Higginbotham down to the inside to get past the Baines, and Baines is down by a car length. It is going to be Higginbotham up into second.
Now Higginbotham trying to chase down Truxell if he can keep him reeled in. There goes the 9 of Casey Herring into third. Fourth now is Stephen Thomas as Chris Baines falls all the way back to 5th.
First through 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 9th.
All right, man.
As caution is out.
Oh, one
no,
car around in the front
Jonathan
straightaway.
Munda is around, and let's take a replay of that. The 47 was involved, but Munda got bumped up, and oh my goodness, this is carnage all around him. And oh, the 47 gets his bit hard. It's the 93 of Tyler Daniels bringing out that yellow flag.
Trying to see exactly what happened in the 93. He was side by side through turns 3 and 4. Oh, he got loose coming off of 4.
The 31 was above him, and then the 37 came down low. He tried to dodge down low, crossed in front of Michael McKinnon in that 13, and that started this entire chaotic mess that we're going to see right now. So he comes back up on track into the 47. The 14 got hard on the brakes, and that's Jonathan Munda. He just crashed on his own. But caution is back out here in Dover. After a small multi-car incident, collects a few drivers in the field. But it's still Truxell, Higginbotham, Herring, Thomas, Baines, Scruggs, Lumpkin, Osmat, Cinnamon, Bradley, and Taylor Peacock sitting in 11th place, followed by Mullen, Steve Williams, Jesse, Brandon Bullock, Raul Meza, Mikey Williams, and 17th, Chip Turner. And then the drivers that are involved in it, well, that would be Raul Meza, 16th and down. We're pretty much involved with that incident, starting with Raul Meza kicking off that fireworks show with that contact in the wall.
Another wreck early on in this stage now, and this is going to affect the strategies of these drivers as the tires now will cool back down. No need to get them back up to temperature throughout the run, but this will allow the drivers that pitted 21 laps ago to be able to stretch these tires. Keith Bradley, Chris Cinnamon, Taylor Peacock, Derek Mullins, Brandon Bullock, Raul Meza, and you can go further down the field. Chip Turner, Michael McKinnon, Tim Price, Dan Hagan, Eric Zimmerman, Andrew Hurley, Tyler Dittmer. They all pitted about 7 laps ago now, about 8 laps ago now as they cross the start-finish line. Everybody else is on 22-lap-old tires. So these 22-lap-old tire drivers, Truxell, Higginbotham, Herring, Thomas, Baines, Scruggs, Lumpkin, just to name the top 7, will be able to make those tires work a little longer than they would have been able to if we went green all the way. But those fresh tires from Cinnamon, Bradley, Peacock, and Mullins, 8th through 11th, are going to be crucial if they're going to want to grab this stage win.
Yeah, Chris Cinnamon is definitely going to be the man on the hot foot, but we've seen the man who has the best restarts here, Taylor Peacock. He's sitting in 10th place. Watch out for the money man on this restart.
These restarts have been incredibly important as Mark Truxell goes basically coming out of turn 4, not really at the restart zone, not when the flagman drops the green flag, but really is sort of coming off of turn 4, so he gets a good launch coming off of that corner. So these drivers need to start trying to predict when Truxell is going to hit that gas so they can get as good of a drive off of the restart as Mark Truxell, because I think it's the only way they're going to have any chance of getting past Mark Truxell is beating him on the restarts, where he is just so good every time.
Now, lights on the pace car should go out right now, and they do. And everyone's going to start forming up right now. It's Truxell, Higginbotham lining up on your first row, followed by Herring and Thomas in that 23 car. He was having a struggling stage 1, but it looks like in stage 2 he's got that car figured out, and now he's sitting in 4th place. And the first man on those fresh tires would be Chris Cinnamon and Keith Bradley. But Cinnamon in that 3 is going to be a row ahead, and he's starting on that outside line behind Dustin Scruggs.
Getting ready once again to go back to green. Higginbotham down the outside. He started all the way back in 16th, now up to 2nd. What a good start to the race from him on lap 52. A little under 100 laps to go here in this race. The space car pulls back into pit lane. Truxell waiting on the gas to go. Higginbotham pulling up beside him as there goes Truxell back to racing here at Dover.
Herring's got a good launch. Higginbotham sleeping on it, but Higginbotham cuts across the nose of Herring, and Scruggs swings it around the outside of Chris Baines, but Baines had that inside line, and look at that. Here comes Cinnamon onto the inside of Scruggs.
Higginbotham cut off Casey Herring, and Herring was almost bump drafting through 1 and 2 on that 56, but they have been able to reel in Mark Truxell. Can they get around him before the end of this stage?
We're running on board with Chris Cinnamon, the first driver on these new tires. We're racing towards lap 80, and it's going to be a heck of a ride till we get there. And Cinnamon currently sitting in 6th place. Had a great restart, jumped 2 cars, and he's behind the Delaware Department of Transportation sponsor Chris Baines right ahead of him.
This front battle just got a lot more interesting, especially with Chris Cinnamon trying to cut his way through.
Oh, he's got high! Peacock's past him!
Peacock takes it. Peacock gonna take that spot from Cinnamon. Now he's gonna have to cut through the traffic.
Peacock's known for his restarts, but that small mistake by Cinnamon, I think that was just to get out of the groove and let an aggressive Taylor Peacock by. The money man in the 81 looking for some cash today.
Peacock now stuck behind that traffic, though. He first needs to get by Chris Baines, and then he has Stephen Thomas, Casey Herring, Jason Higginbotham, and then Mark Truxell to deal with. He can't get past him right now. No avenue on that outside right now. He needs to make it happen on the inside. There he goes, trying to make a run.
Trying to make it down Easy Street, but unfortunately Easy Street is closed right now. If he wants to make a move, he has to go down Electric Avenue, and that's going to be on the exits on the straights. He's looking down low. He's trying to send it down on the 54. Almost locks bumpers with him.
This is the problem with those fresh tires. Now Taylor
Look at
Peacock,
Bradley.
Cinnamon. There goes Keith Bradley in the 92 on the same set of tires that everybody else here is on. The 81, the 3, and the 92 on the same set. Peacock just needs to get by the 54, but can't do it anywhere right now as Herring gets loose, backs himself up into the 23.
Cars getting loose all over the place, and now Peacock and Bradley, and look at the number 2, and Derek Mullins onto the inside of Cinnamon.
I mean, everybody with fresh tires is stuck behind Chris Baines, but he gets loose. There goes Peacock to the inside.
That was very sketchy heading into turn 1. I'm surprised nobody crashed right there, but Peacock jumps into 5th, and now he's got to chase down Stephen Thomas and Casey Herring above it, and around goes the 54.
Oh, what a save from Chris Baines.
Everyone's
He saved
bunched
that
up.
thing, no caution.
Wow. Oh, no, and then he gets bumped. He bumps Herring.
Is out.
No. Caution is out. 54 after saving it. Taps and turns. Keith
The 92,
Bradley.
Keith Bradley around in turn 1. The 26 involved, the 12.
The 54 is
Oh,
on the
my.
inside, and Bradley tried to swing it around the outside, and 54 just tapped him right there. And Bradley took a big slide. He tried to save it, but it's going to be very possible, especially as a 26 just T-bones him right there. Bradley got shot up the track and went for a slow turnaround, and he parked it in the middle of the track to let everyone by. A little bit of cars trying to avoid him. The 08 went into the wall, but caution. Back out here at Dover, here for the Dover 150 in the Snead Competition Design Truck Series. You're watching Racecraft TV as Mark Truxell heads into the pits. We'll be right back after these messages.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV here at Dover for the Dover 150 in the Snead Competition Design Truck Series. Caution is out. The lights are off on the pace car. It's the money man, Taylor Peacock, in the lead. Going to be leading out the field with just 15 laps to go here in Stage 2. And the stages are going by absolutely fast. It's a quick race today. Only 150 laps, 150 miles around the Monster Mile.
15 to go here in Stage 2. Fresh tires for Mark Truxell, Jason Higginbotham, Casey Herring, Stephen Thomas, Dustin Scruggs, Justin Lumpkin, Eric Zimmerman, and Dane Hagen. But they are all 11th through 17th, so they have a lot of cutting up through the field that they need to do before they even get into stage points territory.
Yeah, they definitely need to move their bootay to get up to them. And these guys up at front are going to be going. And here goes Moneyman! And it's a great start by him, and it's a horrible start by Derek Mullins.
Oh, and Chris Cinnamon going to take over second place. There he goes. Richards now down into fourth. There goes Mullins into third. Mullins only has one pit stop on the day, but he is on the same tires as everybody else in this lead pack as Mullins goes back to the inside on Cinnamon.
Mullins trying to peek down low on Cinnamon. Cinnamon showing the room. Side by side they go. Cinnamon almost into the wall. Cinnamon staying high. That car's getting loose. Those tires are screaming for help. But Mullins and Cinnamon still going side by side. Here comes the 17 of Robert Richards trying to give Mullins a little bit of help.
There goes Mullins back into second, rebounding from that bad restart, which is what he needed to do. But now Richards goes to the inside of Cinnamon, and here comes Andrew Hurley and Raul Meza trying to get any positions they can. What a great drive from Raul Meza. We talked about it in qualifying, a little bit off the pace, but even with that damage to that right side, he is now sitting up here in sixth.
What about the man in the 47 and Meza into the wall? But Andrew Hurley up 21 spots as he passes Chris Cinnamon.
What a move from Andrew Hurley.
Mullins
saw him almost get caught up in a wreck earlier, and there goes Mullins for the lead.
Peacock gave him the room right there. Derek Mullins went down low and into the lead. And oh my goodness, Hurley smacked the wall hard.
Hurley keeps it from wrecking into anybody else, but Robert Richards able to take over second place from Taylor Peacock. The 81 goes down to third. The 2 and the 17 now commanding the race, and Robert Richards wants the lead from Mullins.
Richards is pulling his leg right now. Fresher tires than Derek Mullins, and Robert Richards is hunting right now. And speaking of hunting, Casey Herring in that 9, hunting the 3 as he makes the move down onto the inside, heading into turn 1.
Mullins just trying to hold off Robert Richards, but they're going to come to 9 to go in this stage. And look at Richards all over.
He got hard to the wall, and he hits Hurley, and they're all spread out behind him. And Casey Herring snuck past as well as Mark Truxell.
Hurley now dropping down the order, possibly with damage to that truck. There goes Mark Truxell now to the inside of Taylor Peacock. Here comes that 5 car. Sat on the pole, led the most laps so far tonight on a pair of fresh tires. He is making a run at the lead, and there goes Herring on the same set of tires as Truxell. Gets by Mullins for second. Now looking for the lead from Robert Richards.
Casey Herring, fresh tires galore, but he's behind the number 17, and we've seen Robert Richards defend before, and Herring looking low, killing those tires. 17 not giving any space, and he gets paid the price. Hard into the wall, and he's blown an engine. His engine is done.
No caution for it either. I think netcode had a little bit to do with that, but Robert Richards just sent right into the wall going into turn 1 by the 9 of Casey Herring.
Back up front, Mark Truxell passing now low on the 2. Jason Higginbotham's getting a little push, and now Truxell, Higginbotham resuming the fight for second place, and soon to be the lead. The sky around here is absolutely smoky, but it's not a wildfire. That is the engine of the 17. He had to do another lap. Higginbotham goes down low on Truxell.
Richards pulling off of the track heading into pit road. As we go back up to this fight for the lead with Herring in the lead now. Higginbotham in second, Truxell third. All these drivers are on the same tires now, 14 laps old with 4 to go in the stage.
The stage numbers are ticking down right now, and Higginbotham is closing in on Casey Herring.
Higginbotham with a good run on that 9. We saw it. We've seen him fast before in this series, and he's fast again. Can he get to the back bumper of the 9 of Casey Herring before this stage ends? 3 laps to make it happen.
Yeah, the 3-way battle for the lead. Herring, Higginbotham, and Truxell. And all 3 of these guys have a chance for the win.
Higginbotham on the back bumper, about a car length between these two. Higginbotham is closing, albeit not that quickly, but he needs to close quicker if he wants this win. What I'm surprised about, I don't know if Mark Truxell burned up his tires, or if he's slowing down with the dirty air, or if he's just slowing down to not cause a wreck from these drivers. But Mark Truxell is sitting in third, not gaining, not losing any time.
Truxell's just waiting. He's waiting for any sort of dangerous move, and I think that was the dangerous move that unfortunately didn't pay off. Higginbotham went down low. Here comes Truxell looking down to the inside. Green and white checker flag are out. This stage is going to go to the number 9 of Casey Herring.
Herring takes stage 2. Higginbotham third, Truxell fourth, Stephen Thomas in fourth, with Derek Mullins rounding out your top 5. Herring, Higginbotham, Truxell, Thomas, and Mullins.
And Casey Herring, very big win for him today.
Now they need to keep up this momentum heading into the final stage. We're expecting everybody to pit coming in this time. The question is, will anybody stay out, try and make a strategy call?
70 laps remain here at Dover after the end of stage 2. The pace car picks up Casey Herring. You're here watching the Snead Competition Design Truck Series here for the Dover 150 here on Racecraft TV. We'll be right back for the green flag start of stage 3.
Can you see it? It's right there. Hidden behind an assortment of vibrant colors and corporate branding schemes. Look closer. Past less than nearly 200 tons of handmade American steel. And beyond the highest quality, custom-designed electrical components and systems in the industry. Deeper still, to the very core. That's where you'll find it. The heart of NRE. Heart is what makes us who we are. Heart is why NRE products and services are made with more. More precision, more grit, and more passion. We're the largest independent supplier of locomotives, parts, and components on the planet. Vertically integrated and strategically positioned for multiple domestic and international facilities. Our capacity and efficiency are simply unmatched. Fast and worth ethic, and sealed with a calloused handshake. We design real solutions for real-world challenges. Whether we're leading the charge on clean emission solutions or integrating the latest performance-enhancing technology into virtually any locomotive platform, we quote to delivery and ship from stock to offer the most flexible and comprehensive work scope throughout our global reach. Our customers call it a return on investment. We call it the return of North American pride. Do you see it now? It's there. A raging fire that burns inside each and every designer, welder, engineer, and NRE team member. Heart is our anthem. Passion is our fuel.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. And while we were on break, look at what's happened here off pit road. A perfect 3 wide out of the race, and Higginbotham takes the lead here, followed by Harry and Mark Truxell. But that is absolutely picture perfect today, especially for Jason Higginbotham.
I mean, nobody was expecting it. Under commercial, 3 wide race off of pit road. But I mean, where else but Dover do you expect to see such a race off pit road like that?
I don't know. Dover has an extremely wide pit exit, and it looked absolutely tasty right there. And Higginbotham, well, he's going to be the happy man today as he wins that race off pit road. But 70 laps to go. Can he stay in P1?
So Higginbotham leads, Herring second, Truxell, Mullins, and Stephen Thompson rounds out your top 5 before they go back to racing here now. Stage number 3, 65 laps to go, and 65 laps to decide who is going to grab the win. I do believe they will have to make at least one more pit stop, so they also got to plan that out in their strategy. Everybody on fresh tires all the way through the field. Let's see how they are using them here on the restart.
The crowd is on their feet, and here goes Higginbotham. Early jump. Truxell follows him right there, immediately up into second place. Green flags in the air for stage number 3.
What a start from the 56 of Jason Higginbotham, but here comes Truxell battling on Casey Herring. He gets the second spot. Now everybody else single file throughout the top 5. Battle for 6 between Baines and Cinnamon a little further back. But here comes Truxell looking for the lead on the 56 of Higginbotham.
Mark Truxell not wasting any time. The pole shooter wants that first spot. Higginbotham goes up. Here goes Truxell. And there goes Herring back into second place.
No surprise, Truxell finds his way back up to the lead. Now will let anybody else be able to keep him reeled in. We've seen Truxell get out in front, use that clean air, and pull away. Will they be able to keep him reeled in so they can make a pass on him? I don't think so. There goes Truxell already checking out from Casey Herring.
Yeah, he's pulling a nice gap today. and Truxell just nosed over like the back of his hand.
Off turn 4 once again. It just seems like his truck just handles so perfectly, especially out there in clean air. It's like he's making qualifying laps in race trim. There's a small battle going on between Mullins and Baines, with Chris Cinnamon also joining in on that battle. A little bit further back, I believe that is for the 4th spot. Yes, no, it's for 5th, as Derek Mullins leads that line, with Chris Baines in the 54 Toyota Tundra behind. Looking to maybe make a pass. Not going to make anything as he goes to the outside.
Yeah, Baines having some connection issues. He's very dangerous being around right now. Baines all over the bumper of Mullins, and Mullins has to go wide as here comes the 54 of Baines.
This battle continuing as they go back into turn number 3. Baines grabs the spot. The connectivity issues continuing, but he has a fast 54 car.
Yeah, Stephen Thomas better keep his eyes in his mirror because that 54 is rapid. And we have a message from Robert Richards, quote, over the radio, quote, "I hate netcode," end quote.
We all do, Robert. We all do. He is definitely not alone in that opinion.
Yeah. Chris Baines' connection issues providing some trouble for our timing tower. It's showing him as going 261 miles an hour right now as he takes a daring dive down onto the inside of Jason Higginbotham. Nope, on Stephen Thomas. But this group of 4 is catching back up to Mark Truxell.
Can they catch Mark Truxell is the big question right now. As here comes Casey Herring. He's been in 2nd place for a while now. He's trying to catch Mark Truxell, but this gap either stays the same or it widens. It just doesn't seem like it's getting any shorter. And I think without a caution, they're not going to be able to catch him. But this could act much like a restrictor plate track. More air coming off of those cars. It's a line of 4 as Chris Baines makes a look to the outside. Not going to make anything happen.
Baines just getting some clean air into that radiator, keeping that engine cool. But all 4 of these guys starting to separate out now and focus on those tires.
Those tires are going to be important. If we go green to the end, I don't think we are going to see any more pit stops from these drivers. I think they can make it to the end on fuel. We're going to see a lot of them try and go to the end on tires as well. So saving tires is going to be immensely important.
Baines is falling back.
I think he did wore out his tires, and that is going to hurt him for the remainder of this run. Still over 50 laps left in this run.
Yeah, these 4 so close with each other. Herring closing that gap to Truxell. And Truxell, I think, has entered tire saving mode. Because he slowed up a lot right there.
I'm wondering if Truxell is willing to give up positions to save his tires or if he wants to hold track position. That is going to be a huge decision for Mark Truxell to make, because if he loses track position but also saves his tires and a caution comes out and he pits for fresh tires, there goes all that track position that you lost. You're not going to gain that back. But if he keeps the track position, he could get a caution, pit for tires, and he is still in the lead. It's a big issue for Mark Truxell. He's going to need to figure out pretty quickly, because here comes the 9 of Casey Herring.
Yeah, and with 50 laps to go here in Dover, these guys are going to start thinking about strategy as Stephen Thomas falls off the back of this lead pack.
He could have also worn out his tires too, trying to get by the 23 and the 9 ahead of him.
But it's Truxell, Herring, Higginbotham still in the lead. These 3 guys raced off a pit road, race for stage wins And it's probably looking like it's going to be one of these three for the overall win here today. And these three are so incredibly competitive. And I just heard somebody just absolutely clatter this wall on the back straight. I'm not sure who that was, though.
Try and see if I can see anybody with damage. I think it might have been the 81 of Taylor Peacock. Only because of a little bit more radio chatter. Oh, he had the 51 get loose coming off of turn 2.
Oh, no. We're going to take a quick replay of that. And there it is. The 53 and the 81 coming in together. And just look at the back end of Peacock's car. Very bent in.
That is definitely not going to help him at all going through the remainder of this race unless he can use a fast repair, but I think he already used his fast repair earlier on in this race.
Back live. Herring and Truxell. Sorry for interrupting you, but Herring and Truxell back live, and Casey Herring retakes the lead. Truxell going wide, and we got a caution.
Oh, and I think Higginbotham got by Truxell for second place, so it's going to be Herring, Higginbotham, Truxell. No, Truxell was able to keep second place at the moment of caution.
We got a car going backwards, and that's Scott Osment parked in the middle of the track. What has happened to 53 right here? And, oh, Cinnamon has just smacked Osment. But, oh, Michael McKinnon gets into the back of Scott Osment, who lets the 87, comes back up on the track, smacks back down. Cars trying to avoid him all over the place. But he was in the back of the field already, so not a lot of cars to avoid. But very unfortunate for Scott Osment. Few cars having to hit the wall due to his placement in the middle of the track. Casey Herring, Mark Truxell, and Higginbotham all diving towards the inside wall, almost hitting it. And then Chris Cinnamon smacks the wall and Osment trying to avoid him. But as we are live,
everybody's coming down pit road.
It's a pit road party. Are we going to see another race off of pit road? Herring was in the lead. This could decide the race right here. Final green flat, final pit stop of the day if it stays green. Racing off of pit road. Herring and Truxell side by side. It's going to be Truxell taking the win off pit road. And the race for third was also close as Derek Mullins jumps ahead. Nope, no, it's going to be Jason Higginbotham jumping ahead of Mullins. But Mark Truxell wins that race off of pit road.
Truxell wins by about a truck length over second place, with the 56 of Higginbotham only winning by about a tire length over the two.
Yeah, that finish coming out of stage 2 was absolutely insane. Great photo opportunity right there. And I think Mark Truxell only took right sides. Because looking at his pit stop, 14.7 to Casey Herring's 15.2. It is a risk for Truxell only to take right side tires, which I think he did. But whatever he did, whatever pit crew he has, and however much he's paying them, they certainly earned it today because they got their boy back in the lead ahead of Herring and Higginbotham. The big three here today in the Snead Competition Design Truck Series. You're here watching Racecraft TV. We'll be right back when these guys go back to green.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
welcome back to Racecraft TV here at Dover for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series Dover 150. Casey Herring, Mark Truxell leading it out once again with just 43 laps to go here in the 150. Mark Truxell in control of the field, and here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Truxell with another great restart over Casey Herring. Herring falls back into second. There goes Higginbotham in third. On the outside, there goes Derek Mullins trying to get by Stephen Thomas. Not going to quite clear him, but he has the spot.
Mullins swapping the nose to Thomas, trying to look down low of Higginbotham.
He was not able to get there. Higginbotham closed the door incredibly quickly as Truxell pulls away. He is already checked out by multiple car lengths.
He did this at the start of stage 3. He just knows how to restart here at Dover. He's got this track all figured out. Here goes Higginbotham on Herring. Side by side, they go into 3 and 4. Herring came a little bit down, a little bit loose they go. Heading into turns 4, avoiding that wall just by an inch.
Herring and Higginbotham going at it. There's Chris Baines back in the battle with Derek Mullins. They're battling for the 4th spot right now. As Herring dives back into 3 and 4, Higginbotham only about a half truck length behind.
Here comes Higginbotham once more, looking down to the inside of Herring. He's side by side with him through turns 1 and 2. And they're still side by side, and this battle is going to slow them up and allow Truxell to move up even farther. Higginbotham pushing Herring up the track.
Higginbotham to the inside, clears him off of 4.
He's not clear.
Barely.
He's still there. Casey Herring not giving up at all, but unfortunately for him, he has to give up due to the laws of physics. But off the exit, now Herring looking down to the inside, but he's going to check up and let Higginbotham take that 2nd place back.
Now Higginbotham has to chase down Mark Truxell. Still a long ways to go, but those laps very quickly wind down here at Dover. He's going to need to try and get the lead as quickly as possible, but he also needs to focus on his tires. So many variables for each of these leaders right now.
So many variables. How are you going to take this next 30 laps? Is there going to be a caution? If so, do you pit?
Casey Herring now falling all the way back to the 54 of Chris Baines. As Baines is going to look to the inside, but the 9 car going to quickly cover that spot. They're battling for the 3rd place. Stephen Thomas sits in 5th, watching this all happen. Baines look to the inside. Casey Herring with a quick block going down to 1. Baines maybe trying to look up to the outside, but that outside line not working too well as the run goes on. And mainly
Truxell's going slow. Higginbotham takes the lead.
What happened to Truxell? Looks like they went through. I'm going back multiple laps.
Higginbotham's just charged up there and passed him.
Mark just pass him.
Yeah.
Truxell didn't even make a mistake.
Yeah, Higginbotham just showed that absolute speed of his and caught up with there. We thought that move was out and done for, but apparently it's still alive.
Man, what a run from Higginbotham. He started all the way back in 16th, did not qualify well, puts on his race setup, and he is out here right now just pulling away from the field. He has had such an incredible drive, past the fastest car all day without even making a single mistake. What a run for this 56.
As Herring and Baines still battling it out. Baines tried to go for a move, but Herring put on a big block for him. Here comes Stephen Thomas in that 23.
Thomas able to get to the back bumper of the 54. Now a 3-car battle for 3rd. You can see Baines just swerving on the straightaways, trying to find any possible run he can get on the 9 of Casey Herring, but he cannot get anything.
Herring's not giving up that spot art at all. And why would he? He won stage 2. He knows how to start these things. And he knows how to win here. But it's our stage 1 winner, Mark Truxall, in second. Stage 2 winner of Casey Herring in third. And the man who's been sitting in third all day long, Jason Higginbotham, he's sitting in fourth. Can the Three Musketeers take a 1-2-3 just like they did across the line? Or is Truxall and Herring gonna try to give a little upset today?
Can Herring even catch these guys? Gotta be worried about those tires. Everybody on 17-lap old tires when they come across the start-finish line. Those are gonna very quickly start to lose more and more grip. They started this run running lap times of about 22.4 or 22.5 more like, and now they are in the 23.2 range.
Yeah, the field already so spread out now. They're enveloping half of the track immediately and then some as these guys start focusing more on tires with 26 laps to go.
Right now, a lot of these drivers treating this just like another stage. Not really racing towards the end of this race. They need to pace themselves. Make sure they can make it to the end of the race. You need to finish before you can win.
Track temperature is at a cool 86 degrees, but it's the track surface that's the main killer here.
Cloud cover is out, and as that temperature starts to decline, that's going to include more grip for these drivers as the track temp continues to keep cooling down, but that's also going to cool down the tires. They're already getting very warm, so this could lead to a little bit of a change in how those tires are going to wear going towards the end of this race. But what I really want to talk about is the time, as sim time is 5:30 p.m. So the sun is also starting to go down. That's also contributing to the drop in track temperature. We might see these drivers able to stretch these tires all the way to the end better than they originally were planning.
Yeah, the sim time is definitely going to be playing a big factor. Casey Herring, he's closing up a lot on Mark Truxall ahead of him, racing down at 165 miles an hour heading into turn 3.
Herring needs to get to the back bumper of Truxall. That's one thing to be able to catch him. It's another to be able to pass him. Truxall not only fast, but he is impossible to get by, as Herring sits about 3 car lengths behind Truxall right now.
Now, Mark Truxall, if he knows that you're faster and he knows that you're going down to the inside, he will give up that spot that he's currently running in to avoid an incident, unlike a few of these other guys. But Mark Truxall's a very nice dude, and I totally understand that by him. But that was at the start of the race. If it comes to the end of the race, we might see Truxall pull out the elbows just a little bit. But Jason Higginbotham now getting a big run off on these guys behind him.
We're seeing something that we did not see in the earlier stages. And I think it might be because we are reaching the end of this race, the total race, not just a stage, is that a lot of guys have started to spread out, especially at the front of this race, especially at the front of this pack. Everyone's spreading out, giving each other a lot of room, and just making sure that, first of all, they can make it to the end of the race, and then they're going to try and focus on racing from where they are, as everybody just tries to conserve tires, make their way to the end, not get any more cautions, as we go to 19 laps to go and they come across the start-finish line this time.
Derek Mullins moving up the field right now. He's caught up a lot of ground to Chris Baines. And Baines going wide. Here comes Mullen trying to sneak his way down through that gap, but it gets closed off by Chris Baines. And Baines goes wide once more. Here goes Mullins. And that 2 through 3 and 4. Mullins gets up into 4th.
Mullins takes 4th from Baines, and Chris Baines continues to fall back I think he might have done the same thing he did earlier back in stage 2. Just wore out his tires to a point where now all he can do is fall back like a rock and try and block as many positions as he can. But with those worn tires, I think he's just going to keep continuing to fall back. He might go outside of the top 10 at this rate.
Yeah, and now the lapped cars have came into play as Higginbotham, Truxell, and Herring are weaving their way through it. Currently, Higginbotham's having to deal with the 31, who's not giving him any room, and he's going to tap him almost into the wall. And
oh
the
my,
31,
the 31 up the track.
Yeah, just gave him the room and a little bit too much, skyrocket up the track, and into the wall he goes. And now Truxell and Herring are back onto the back of Jason Higginbotham with 16 laps to go. Who's going to be able to pick and roll through the field right now and on to the victory lane?
Higginbotham dicing through lap traffic.
Eric Zimmerman proving to be a hassle right now for all of the top 3.
Oh my, that is going to push Higginbotham back into Truxell, but Truxell still has to deal with Casey Herring behind him.
I think Herring doesn't even want to even think about battling Truxell. He's just wanting to think about getting past these trucks right now that are lapped down. Higginbotham's got a big space in. Truxell going way down below the line, and Truxell sideways mid-corner.
Oh, Higginbotham fighting back another lapped car. Looks like they're clear of lapped cars now for a little bit, but my, that was sketchy for a couple laps.
Oh, man.
Harry's making a pass on Truxell to the outside. Goes back to the inside, but Herring showed he had the run to make a pass on Truxell. Sun coming back out on the racetrack. When will Herring try and make the move?
He's doing it now! What a move by Casey Herring! And Herring, our stage 2 winner, going to try to chase down Jason Higginbotham and close this 8/10 gap for the lead.
He only has 11 laps to do it. How much tires does he have left? Can he make a move on him? Lap times going into the 24-second range. Last time by, Higginbotham 24.194, Casey Herring 24.372.
And Higginbotham, this is in the stars for him. He was looking for a great race today, and it is a great race, but can he hold out for 10 more laps? And another wave of lap traffic is slowly getting closer to him.
The gap between Higginbotham and Herring right now is about 9/10 of a second. Watching to see those lap times. 24.335 last time by for Higginbotham. Herring, 24.282. Herring was faster that last time by. Can he keep up this momentum?
I believe he can. He's broke the second barrier to Herring. Higginbotham is on a tear right now with 8 laps to go. I don't even think he cares about that lapped car in front of him.
Higginbotham faster last time by only 1/10 of a second. Will this lap car hold him up?
No,
Goes to the middle, but the 56 had to deal with that dirty air.
He does have to deal with the dirty air, but nothing really holding up right there. He may have lost a 10th or 2 that time by, but he's got past him cleanly. How does Herring fare? Herring gets held up off the exit.
Herring faster that time by 5/100ths of a second. These lap times really telling the difference. Now over a second, the gap between these two. I think Herring's running out of time with 6 to go. He needs to pray for a caution because Higginbotham faster again that time by, but only by 12/100ths of a second.
Higginbotham put it on a clinic here, and him and Herring It is a battle of the tents right now between these two. Lap 145, 7 thousandths of a second separates them.
Back onto the back straightaway. They're going to come across the line this time by 4 laps to go here at the Dover International Speedway. Coming up on another group of lapped cars.
That's
Will this
McKinnon.
affect Higginbotham? Now 4 to go. Lap time last time by for Higginbotham, 24.27. For Herring, 24.238. Herring is faster, just can't get to him.
Team Dangerous is cheering for Herring to unload everything and get a little wild right now. As Higginbotham having to deal with a few laps more cars. Can he keep his tires alive? 3 laps to go here in Dover. Herring's gained another 10th on him.
Gap down to 9 tenths. It was down to 8 tenths for a quick second right there. Gap between the last lap times is a little over a 10th. 2 to go this time by. More lapped cars in front of Higginbotham.
Higginbotham's got an entire train in front of him, and they're going too wide as Meza goes down low.
Oh, will we block Casey Herring? No.
No.
Herring might have a chance.
Herring's
He's down
gotta
to 5
run.
tenths.
He's got to run. Herring's got to run. He's got 1 lapped car to go, but that lapped car is going to go wide. Herring and Higginbotham are going to have a good old race with 1 lap to go. White flag is in the air here in Dover.
Higginbotham leads into 1. 4 tenths between these two. Can Herring make anything happen? They're coming out of the back straightaway for the final time. 1 more corner to go. Can Herring make anything happen through 3 and 4?
It isn't looking like it, and it's going to be Jason Higginbotham taking the win here today for the Dover 150 in the Snead Competition Design Truck Series.
What a race between Higginbotham and Herring to finish out this 150 lap race.
And Higginbotham completes the trifecta of the 3 guys racing at the front. And what a race it has been. And he's going to burn it down here in Dover. Jason Higginbotham takes the win ahead of Casey Herring. Mark Truxell in 3rd, followed by Derek Mullins, Chris Baines, Stephen Thomas, Nathan Rauge, Chris Cinnamon, Justin Lumpkin, Tyler Daniels, Taylor Peacock in 11th place. They're followed by Tyler Dittmer, Dane Hagan, Keith Bradley, Michael McKinnon, Raul Meza, Brandon Bullock, Jesse Sherrard in 18th, followed by Steve Williams, Eric Zimmerman, Mikey Williams, Justin Scruggs, Jonathan Munda, Scott Osmat, Tim Price, Andrew Hurley, Chip Turner, Robert Richards at the end of the grid in 28th, as Jason Higginbotham is putting on an absolute show on the front straights, showing every way he knows how to burn these puppies down. And I think we have Mr. Higginbotham waiting for us very soon. But as we wait for him, oh wait, nope, there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your race winner, Jason Higginbotham.
Thank you very much. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Can you hear me on here?
Oh, loud and clear, and we can hear the excitement in your voice.
Man, I've choked the last few weeks, truck race and cup race. I've pulled a choke myself the last few weeks. It's about time I pulled one off.
Well, you certainly pulled off this race in a wonderful fashion. If about 25 laps to go, the lap cars were coming into your view, and you had to make a choice on how you're going to pull your way through that. Were you worried about any of these lap cars maybe ruining your race?
Heck yes, for sure. You know, it's like a new league here, especially with these trucks. You know how Dover is. Coming off the corner, that thing shoves right into the wall, and as soon as you bounce off the wall, you come straight down. So I was trying to lift off the gas and let her cut low so I could go below all them lappers if I could.
You're certainly bouncing with excitement today. You were racing in the top 3 all day long with Higginbotham and Herring, and let me tell you, it was all on the line. Stage 1, you were there. Stage 2, were there. The race off of pit road, you were there, and you won that by a wheel.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, first time I beat anybody off pit road, I usually lose a spot or two.
Well, we got a great photo for you in the Discord if you want to hang that up on the wall.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely.
Well, you're here standing in victory lane. Tires are all burned up today. So before we let you go, celebrate anyone you want to thank.
Yeah, I just got to thank all the sponsors for this truck series and the Cup series, Mike McKinnon and everybody at this league. They're doing an excellent job. It's a good job for everybody. It's a good series for everybody to come in and join. The guy that's up on the wheel and the new guys learning. I think it's a great series.
It definitely is. Well, congrats, Jason, on the win. You go have yourself an amazing night. The monkey is off your back.
Appreciate it, buddy.
And Joshua Lee is standing by with Casey Herring.
Casey Herring, second place finish tonight for you in that number 9 machine. We saw you get a little bit of a run on Jason Higginbotham towards the end of that race. What did you need to get past him?
First of all, thank you guys for having me. It was a good race. Good win, Jason. Honestly, I needed to save the front tire a little bit more. I pushed too hard, let him get too far out on me, and couldn't reel him back in. Lap traffic weren't a big a factor as I thought it was going to be. So unfortunate, but we'll get him next week.
We had that long 45 lap run towards the end of that race, and you talked about saving that front tire. Was the battling you did a little bit earlier on in that run, looking back on it with Mark Truxell, detrimental to your overall race, burning up that front tire?
I think I had a little bit to do with it, but honestly, Truxell raced me clean, and we had a little bit of scuffle right there getting around a lap car, and I got a little bit of nose damage from it. But for the most part, I was trying to get Truxell and then hopefully get him clean. But yeah, overall, it had a little bit to do with it, but yeah, it was on me mostly.
Well, you were able to grab that stage 2 victory. How exciting was that for you to be able to win a stage, especially here at a tough track like Dover, over the overall race winner, Jason Higginbotham?
Oh man, it was amazing. I was talking to the team, Justin Lumpkin, other fellow Team Dangerous, my teammate, and we were like, yeah, I didn't want to pit there, so they talked me into pitting, so I pitted, and I was like, I'm a full send it, and sent it 3 wide, and I was like, I really need these points because I had internet issues last week, so I didn't get to race Phoenix, unfortunately. So I felt pretty good in the points, so I had to get all I can this week, and that stage win's definitely going to help. Not a win, but we'll take the stage win and the good points we got today.
Anyone else you would like to thank before we let you go?
Shout out to Team Dangerous Boys, Justin, Lumpkin, Tony Smith. Thank you guys for having me. Let me be a part of this. Everybody in the league, it's amazing people racing in here, and thank you guys for broadcasting it.
Casey Herring, second place finish for him in the number 9, and Austin Knight standing by with your third place finisher, Mark Truxell.
Thank you guys.
Yes, I am. I'm standing by with our stage 1 winner of Mark Truxell right now. And Mark, what a race it was for you. You took the pole, you took stage 1 win. It looked like a road down easy street, and then everything else happened. How was today's race?
Today's race was a tough race.
Tough indeed. It is Dover, but what was the toughest part? The traffic, the cars around you, or tire management?
Really, I just had my head down. That's what you call concentrating right there. I don't think I slipped up one time. The hardest part about the race is I didn't have my AC on in the house. I was starting to sweat right out of my eyes.
Oh, no. Well, you can stop sweating now. The race is over, and you need to turn on that AC.
Yeah, no kidding. But, hey, great job by everybody. Good race.
Definitely a great race. You finished You won stage 1. You took 3rd in the final results. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Little Tate's Cupcakes, AlexMorganImaging.com, the Snead Competition Designs, Nasra, of course, you guys there at Racecraft. You do a good job at the broadcast. Friends and family watching, MCF Construction, and anybody else that supports the 5 team. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Mark, for putting on a great show. You go have yourself a cool night with the AC on, as we're going to close out the race right here. Joshua, any final messages?
I mean, just what an exciting race. It seems like we have battles going on everywhere, strategy calls, tire wear came into play, the temperature of the track came into play. It seemed like everything was being thrown at these drivers tonight. And it's an overall exciting finish. Had a run at the end with Casey Herring, but taking it home was Higginbotham, a well-deserved win for that team.
And absolutely, it was a fantastic win deserved for Jason Higginbotham in that 56. He finally got the monkey off the back, and he finally took that win. And Dover, as always, providing a wonderful race from start to finish. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Racecraft TV for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series for the Dover 150. I've been joined by Joshua Lee. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a great night.